Honorable Cabinet Secretary for Investment, Trade and Industry. Thereafter, we shall have a statement from the Executive Vice President from the European Commission, and then we shall ask Honorable the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya to say some words and invite His Excellency the President to speak with us. Thereafter, we shall be signing the joint communique, and that will be done by Cabinet Secretary for Trade together with the Executive Vice President. You are most welcome today. Thank you very much. So just proceed. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'll go straight to a few points, and then I shall call the Chief Trade Negotiator from the European Union to basically say a few words as well. What is the Economic Partnership Agreement? The Economic Partnership Agreement is between Kenya, a member of the East African Community, on the one part, and the European member, and the European Union and the member states on the other part. In essence, this is an agreement between 27 countries on the one part and Kenya, and eventually the rest of the East African Community. We have the Kingdom of Belgium, the Republic of Bulgaria, the Czech Republic, the Kingdom of Denmark, the Federal Republic of Germany, the Republic of Estonia, the Hellenic Republic, the Kingdom of Spain, the French Republic, the Republic of Croatia, the Italian Republic, the Republic of Cyprus, the Republic of Latvia, the Republic of Lithuania, the Grand Duchy of Luxembourg, Hungary, the Republic of Malta, the Kingdom of the Netherlands, the Republic of Austria, the Republic of Poland, the Portuguese Republic, Romania, the Republic of Slovenia, the Slovak Republic, the Republic of Finland, the Kingdom of Sweden, and the European Union on the one hand, and the Republic of Kenya on the other hand. The EPA stands on the shoulders of agreements that have been done between us as an African continent and our European brothers and sisters, starting from the Cotonou to Ouagadougou, and also takes recognition of the fact that the East African Community is going to be an extremely important pillar of this agreement. The agreement covers several things that are very foundational and fundamental to trade and investment between the two partners. We have finalized an agreement on trade in goods, whereby we shall now have ease in as far as customs procedures. We have agreed on a modality to do rules of origin. We have agreed on issues to do with how movements of goods will be done, taxes and duties, non-tariff measures, transit standards, sanitary and phytosanitary standards, and so on and so forth. This agreement also makes significant progress in as far as making it easy for fisheries, agriculture, economic and development cooperation, dispute resolution, and very importantly, for trade and for sustainable development to happen. Ladies and gentlemen, this is momentous because for the first time, Kenya shall be enjoying quota-free, duty-free, predictable, permanent access to an extremely large market, which currently is Kenya's largest trading partner, whereby we export well over $1 billion every year. And the chief trade negotiators and their teams managed to finalize this, a process that had been outstanding for over 8 years. We look forward to this, but most importantly, and as Honorable the Cabinet Secretary indicated just a few moments ago, we look forward to this being an indication to the world that Kenya and the European Union stand shoulder to shoulder in as far as deepening trade, deepening investment, but at the same time strengthening our economic cooperation. In order to do so, we shall be working with our partners to strengthen access to both markets. We shall be working with our partners to green trade. We shall be working with our partners to strengthen the logistics such that we have close to carbon neutral ways of getting goods across the globe. And we shall be working with our partners to ensure that we shall never derogate the environment as we pursue trade and investment. And this is a very strong shared objective by the two parties. I'd now like to welcome my colleague in this process, the chief negotiator for the European Union, Dora Correa, to basically come and share some words. Let us give her a round of applause for the very good task that she's managed to complete. Thank you.
Dora, welcome. Thank you very much. His Excellency President Ruto, dear Deputy President Kachagua, dear Executive Vice President Dombrovskis, Cabinet Secretary Correa, Principal Secretary Kombudu, dear Alfred, Ambassador Geiger, dear ambassadors, ladies and gentlemen. I have the honor and the pleasure today of outlining the content of our EU-Kenya Economic Partnership Agreement. Today is a very special day. The length of trade negotiations with the EU is often measured in years or decades. Nonetheless, after a few months of bilateral talks, today we mark the conclusion of negotiations which will allow us, EU and Kenya, to implement the original agreement we had concluded with Eastern African countries and that we both signed way back in 2016. I want to express my gratitude for the commitment and the resolve of His Excellency, President Ruto and his administration, as well as for the leadership of Executive Vice President Dombrovskis, which have allowed to close these negotiations so swiftly and so decisively. The agreement has hundreds of pages, so let me outline three core elements. First, the centerpiece of all trade agreements, market access. Kenyan exports will enjoy duty and quota-free access to the European market from day one. And here is a very important distinction. Kenya, given its economic development status, will only have to open its own market for EU production later and very gradually. The EU is Kenya's exports' major market. Reliability of the business environment, reliability of market access is possibly the single most important factor for investment decisions. So guaranteeing EU market access will draw in investors to Kenya. Kenya is also a growing middle-income economy, and to develop its industries, Kenya needs quality imported products and needs scale in their export market. So the agreement is a win-win solution. Secondly, the agreement will also be a very important platform for cooperation on many sectors. Let me give you a few examples. With a view to food security, we agreed we would cooperate in the areas of agricultural transformation. We agreed we would exchange information on investment opportunities in the agricultural sector, including for smallholders. We will also work together to encourage EU private sector to invest in Kenya and for a secure investment climate. Lastly, we agreed to cooperate on sanitary and phytosanitary standards, which are essential for Kenya vegetable and fruit exports to enter the EU market. The third cornerstone of the agreement is trade and sustainability. Kenya is a like-minded partner to make sure trade and investment go hand in hand with social and environmental sustainability. Building on our international commitments, we hold ourselves accountable to implement the principles of international core labour standards, such as freedom of association and the abolition of child labour. We are also unified in our commitment to effectively implement the Paris Agreement to combat climate change. And of course, particularly relevant for Kenya, we have also committed to protect biodiversity and fight against illegal wildlife trade. We will approach these commitments in a joint effort of cooperation and support. These three core elements, market access, cooperation, sustainability, really demonstrate the objective of this partnership agreement: to boost trade and investment based on cooperation and sustainability. Last but not least, I also want to thank my counterpart, PS Alfred Kamburu, for our very trustworthy and efficient cooperation, which has allowed us to be here today. So many thanks, Alfred. And thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Madam. And thank you for working. It was really commendable.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dora Correa, Chief Negotiator for the European Union, in respect of this agreement that we are now looking forward to completing and coming into effect. Okay. I am instructed that I am instructed that we shall flip the program a bit and we shall do the signing of the joint communique first, then we shall proceed to the speeches. And therefore, I would like to request Honorable the Chief Negotiator to maybe come back towards the stage. And I would also like to now request Honorable Cabinet Secretary for Trade, Moses Kuria, and Honorable the Executive Vice President, Mr. Dombrovskis, to also come to the stage so that we can actually do the signing. Thank you very much. Great. Gentlemen, congratulations. Wonderful. That's great. Thank you. Again. Thank you. Thank you so much. Congratulations. Yes. You can sit down. Moses. Okay, so I'd now like to invite Honorable Cabinet Secretary for Investments, Trade and Industry to speak with us. Karibu.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, the Honorable William Samoei Ruto, Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, the Honorable Rigathi Gachagua, the EVP of the European Union, Valdis Dombrovskis, our Chief Negotiators, Dora and PS Alfred, ladies and gentlemen, and also our envoys. Today is a very proud moment for Kenya, and I believe it's a very proud moment for the European Union. When the new government took office in Kenya some 8 months ago, we found a conversation that was centered around what we considered to be symptoms rather than the virus or the disease. And the conversation was around the topics of macroeconomic issues, matters of inflation, matters of debt, matters of fiscal deficits. And it was our considered opinion that those were actually symptoms, not the virus. The actual virus was lack of production, or the cogs of the wheel of production of our country and our economy had ground to a halt. And so therefore, we identified 3 areas or 3 major issues that we wanted to focus on so that we can get the wheel of production moving again. One of them was reviving our manufacturing, which had declined from 9% of our GDP to 7%. Our foreign direct investment, which had stagnated to around $500 million US, and most important for what we are doing today, our exports, which had dropped over the last 8 years from 28% to a low of 10% in just 8 short years. And so therefore, to revive the engine of our exports, we set aside upon a journey to do 3 things on the reviving exports. And we gave it an acronym of AFP. For the French who are here, that has got nothing to do with your press agency. It is an acronym for access, facilitation, and promotion. And so we said, we are going to go to our shelves and dust off all the agreements that were meant to create access for our products. And in this regard, the European Union, being a very important trading partner, was top on that list. In November, DORA from the European Union came calling together with members of European Parliament, and we said that by 31st of March, we must have entered into the most active phase of our negotiation. And we gave ourselves also a deadline of 30th of June 2023 to actually get the negotiation and the agreement settled. I am proud to say that starting here today, we have beat that deadline by 11 days, and that is remarkable. And this is significant because this agreement was, this process started 9 years ago in the year 2014. So to conclude it in just 7 months is remarkable. And I want to take this opportunity to thank the chief negotiators, Dora and Alfred, for the hard work, for the honesty. Trade negotiation is not an easy thing. Somebody said trade negotiation is a civil version of war. It is not that easy. So for us to be able to conclude this process that was started some 7 months ago, 9 years ago, in just 7 months is remarkable. Going forward after this agreement, we are looking forward to a very quick ratification by the Kenyan Parliament and by the European Parliament. We are going to do what it takes for us to talk to our Parliament. I am a former member of Parliament, so I know that space very well. And as we agreed with the counterparts from the European Union, we are going to camp in Brussels. And I want to invite His Excellency the President to also go to Brussels, also being a former member of Parliament, to assist us in talking to the European Parliament, as indeed I want to welcome the EVP to also come and address our Parliament at some point, because we want a very, very rapid and very judicious conclusion of this particular process. Kenya believes that multilateralism is a way to go. We are signing this agreement today, not because we are just Africans or we are Europeans, or because we have got the rights by birth to being born in Africa and Europe. We are not signing this because of the economic status of Kenya and the European Union. We are signing this because these are issues that we agree on. These are issues that there is absolutely no dispute, no variance between Kenya and the European Union. And I want to encourage yet again, as I did during the business forum by the European Union, let us encourage countries to get into trade agreements or trade structures, because it makes sense for their people, for uplifting their people out of poverty. Let us not bask in the glory of I belong to this and that economic category, or I belong to this and that continent. Let us do this because it makes sense for us. This agreement today hopefully will open doors for our other partners within the East African community, our 7 countries there, our 300 million people there, indeed graduating into the 28 member states of our tripartite free trade agreement, which we hope to ratify and operational very soon, so that that can be a very good building block between our 28 countries of the TFTA and the 27 countries of Europe, as we pave the way for all other African countries within the context of AFCFTA to be able to build on what we start today. Of course, for us to do this, we have to get the support, one, of our respective peoples in Kenya and the European Union, but also to demonstrate that it pays for us to have multilateralism and that protectionism has got no place in the modern world economy. So we want to work together with the European Union and Kenya to work on a program of early harvest, where we align the programs that are there within the European Union with the Kenya Kwanza government priorities within our plan, so that we can be able to demonstrate to our respective peoples, our region, and our respective continents that indeed multilateralism pays. So thank you very much, and congratulations to all. Thank you. So let me take this opportunity to welcome the EVP of the European Union, Vardes, to come and make his remarks. Thank you very much. Karibu.